Hey everyone, this is Richard, CEO and founder of altFINS. In this trading video, I will look at some whale wallet insights. We publish reports on a weekly basis that track what the smart money or whale wallet investors with large sums of invested money, what are they adding or selling, and whether we can gain some insights, which I think we can. So let's go ahead and get started. Actually, last week in our Whale Wallet Insights report, we highlighted ZORA, which ZORA, if you're not familiar with ZORA, is a platform or a protocol that focuses on tokenizing social media creators and social media posts. I mean, basically you can create a token for every creator or every post in social media. And so it's a real project, but last week we highlighted this project in our Whale Wallet Insights report, which I'll show you in a minute, and that a lot of the large whales were adding it, and that was about a week ago. And after that, as you can see, the price actually gained, almost doubled basically, because I believe the report came out about 7 days ago, so it would have been August 4th, or yeah, exactly 4th. And so the price was around 7 cents, and then it went on to 15 cents yesterday. So, keeping track of what the large players are doing in the space is clearly very beneficial, and sometimes can yield some really good insights and massive profits in short term. Just a few days, frankly. So where you can find the Whale Wallet Insights is under our research section. Here, as you can see, we publish these on a weekly basis. We discuss these findings in our VIP Telegram group as well. So I recommend that you explore that as well. And so last week's report is right here. Let's pop it open real quick, and you can look at some of the basically the findings here, and some of the things that we noted in terms of what are the sort of top meme coins that are seeing strong selling pressure, and this actually continued even last week. So this certainly is worth keeping an eye on. We're seeing a lot of whales getting out of FARTCOIN. Yeah, you heard it, FARTCOIN. And there's been some heavy selling in the last 7 days, and really even the last 30 days, with a lot of traders or whale wallet owners getting rid of it as well. And that's after some heavy buying. So if we take a look at the FARTCOIN chart here, there was a fair amount of buying in June and July, and that tracked well with the price. And now, they're rotating some other meme coin, possibly, and we discussed that as well in our follow-up report. But we did mention ZORA as one of the standouts in terms of the buying interest, right? So notable buying activity. We're seeing some Pepe inflows, or we were seeing at the time. So maybe there's whales rotation from FARTCOIN into Pepe, also Bonk. And then in terms of the altcoins, so not meme coins, but altcoins, ZORA was one of the standouts in terms of the smaller caps. And if we look at the actual data in the tables here, then you'll notice that, so this is the top altcoins ownership. I'll discuss that in a minute. What are the top altcoins owned by the whales in the largest sums? What are some of the top meme coins owned? So FARTCOIN is still the most owned, but as you can see, the balances are seeing some significant declines. So the whales are selling in terms of number of holders. So, and in terms of dollars as well. Okay. And in terms of the changes in the last 7 days, right here was ZORA, in the last 7 days, seeing some buying interest and a number of, notably from a number of traders, of a lot of traders. There were a few others like KTA and Link. There were also standouts. And that goes also for not just last 7 days, but also ZORA also continued seeing interest in the last, in the prior 30 days as well. Okay, so when you see that kind of buying activity from a number of traders, that certainly sparks interest, right? Now there were also some very established large cap altcoins like Maker on the list, AERO as well. But in terms of some of the smaller ones, ZORA was definitely a standout. So that was a good signal. And then so we notified and discussed that in our VIP channel. And as I mentioned, the price really reflected that. That was an excellent entry, gaining us over 100% gain in 7 days. Now in this week's whale report, let's take a look at what's changed. So again, first of all, I think it's notable to see what the whale wallets own the most of. ONDO Finance. It's a platform for tokenizing real world assets. There's a lot of large, traditional finance companies behind this project and protocol, including, I believe, BlackRock. So, there's substantial ownership by whale wallets, and it's increased somewhat from prior week as well. So, this, if you're looking to build a portfolio for longer term, positioning yourself for longer term, then ONDO, I think, is a clear candidate to be in that portfolio. Uniswap, obviously the largest decentralized exchange, is on that list, heavily owned by large whale wallets. Athena Finance, also another platform protocol that's kind of bridging traditional finance with decentralized finance, TradFi and DeFi, heavily owned. Aave, which is the largest crypto lending platform, has seen huge increases in their TVL. Let's take a look real quick. So if you look at Aave, right? Another interesting section of our site is the on-chain data. And you can see, if you look at TVL, which is in the blue color here, it's been, substantially rising. Let's take a look at the last year data, perhaps. Okay, maybe it's difficult to see, but it's grown a lot. I mean, you can see it in the table here that the TVL is up 60% in just the last 90 days, right? So that's clearly showing adoption and use is growing, and their revenues are growing as well. Total revenues are up 86% in the last 90 days, over 100% in the last year. So Aave is a heavily owned, sort of a larger cap, traditionally, or well-known DeFi play. Morpho's on that list, which is interesting because it's also owned by the Trump's World Financial Platform, which owns several different digital assets. PENDLE is on that list, certainly worth looking into or owning. And some of the few lesser known names like Fluid. So these are the top 9 assets or altcoins owned by the smart money or whale wallets. In terms of meme coins, FARTCOIN is still up there, but as you can see, continued selling in the last 7 days. Has continued. On the other hand, there's some interesting smaller cap names like Troll that's had a major increase in ownership, both in terms of dollars, but in terms of holders, number of holders, up 300%. And another one called Cult, also seeing an increase in number of holders. Let's take a look at their charts. So Troll, also known as Troll Soul, under the charts here, obviously, wow, okay, it's had a pretty substantial run in just really in the last 7 days or so. So here, you know, we kind of need to see where it pulls back, maybe to 10 cents area, where it finds some support, and maybe we'll see another push higher. Okay, and then in terms of, the other one to keep an eye on, I think, in terms of the altcoins, we're seeing decent amount of buying for AERO. Okay, it was actually the most, the token that's seen the most inflows from whale wallets in the last 7 days. And in terms of 30 days, it was Maker, but AERO is also in the second place on that list as well. So let's take a look at that chart. Okay, AERO Finance. All right, well, that had also a pretty major breakout recently, but you know, from a technical viewpoint, I can see that $1 right here, if you look at the trading view chart here, let's get rid of some of these moving averages, create some more space for this chart here. Okay, so I think it's clear that the dollar level was previously resistance level. Okay, let's take a look at longer. Wow, okay, so this token reached in December $2. So we're still potentially 100% upside if we see another rally, which I think we will, in terms of altcoins in general in the second half of this year, which is now. So I think there's still a substantial amount of upside. We're seeing whale wallets adding this token again recently. It's actually, it looks like it's trading in a nice channel up pattern. If we connect some of these here, okay, some of these peaks more or less, and some of these bottoms right here more or less, right? Okay, looks like a nice channel up. So, you know, I'd wait for price to pull back at least to this dollar level, which, you know, probably will find a support here, because this prior resistance level here at $1 was previously resistance, and now it's going to act as support. That's a concept known as polarity. Prior resistance, once broken, becomes support, and vice versa. But you know, I'll be watching it, see if it finds support here. If not, it could trace back all the way, maybe even to this channel up support level, which, you know, could be 85 cents. So that's probably, or, you know, if it does turn around and break this level again, then I will be buying it even higher. That's fine. But I'll see that, you know, the selling has been absorbed and that the buyers are in control again. I'm okay with buying it at $1.30 if it makes new local highs, right? So I either buy that. Right now it's kind of a no man's land. It's pulling back. It was overbought here on RSI, right? RSI level was 75. So it's coming back. Maybe it'll find support here at $1. I think it's quite possible. And then it'll turn around and break out again, or it'll come back all the way to this channel up support trend line, right? This is a dynamic trend line here. So that's for that. And when you look at these whale reports, there's also a summary of the key market signals. So perhaps I didn't mention actually, PENDLE is another standout in terms of increase in number of holders and balances for whale wallets, right? It's obviously among the top 10 most owned, but also in terms of new money being added, it was on that list as well. Okay, so if we look at PENDLE, let's see what the situation there is in terms of the price action. Okay, all right, well, yeah, it had a huge candle here from 4 to 5. That was a 25% run up. Broke through the prior high. Nice. Yeah, so that looks like it's going to continue to go higher. I mean, the other thing that's in this report that I think is interesting is the breakdown of, as I mentioned, Trump's family's World Liberty Financial portfolio. They actually have two portfolios. So we take a look at their ownership or token portfolios for both. And I guess the notable is that they are, the largest positions are in Ethereum, which has done extremely well. In fact, I believe Ethereum now has outperformed Bitcoin in terms of the year-to-date gains. Let's take a look. Okay, year-to-date, Bitcoin's up 27% and Ethereum up 29%. But in the last month, Ethereum's up 45% versus Bitcoin's basically flat at 1% gain. So it's been a huge gainer, as you've obviously noticed. So this position for Trump's World Liberty financial portfolio has done well. And notable other sort of ownerships are tokens White, TRX, which I love, TRX. And I believe they also, in the other portfolio, they own a few others like Aave and Link. Okay, so obviously BTC as well. So that's worth keeping an eye on as well. Some of these smaller positions, but part of their portfolio is notable, right? So if we look at TRX, we actually have a trade setup or technical analysis for TRX. It's clearly in a strong uptrend. And if you look at our technical analysis or trade setup, it's trading in a channel up pattern here. It looks like it may want to break out of this pattern soon and just head back to 45. You don't see it in this chart, but back in earlier this year, was it this year or no, late last year, this token shot up to 45 cents and then pulled back. I think that's kind of where it's headed back to. So it's another 30% potential gain. If you look at the chart here, right here it is, right? If we just zoom in on this part of the chart, yeah, right. So that's kind of where I think this token is headed back to, in a strong uptrend in the medium, short-term, long-term basis as well. So that's that. So that's the whale wallet insights. Use it to your advantage. I think it's well summarized for key signals. And as I mentioned, we discuss it in the VIP Telegram channel as well. So I encourage you to join us there as well for some of the best trade analyses and tips and insights as well. All right, thank you for your time. Keep in mind that this video was for informational purposes only, not meant to be financial advice, and do your own research. Good luck trading.